Oh, hello, we're talking. You can hear me. Shoot. I have 9 million things going on here. And yeah. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Susie. How are you?
Hi.
I'm trying to connect and trying to get on here. And holy cow. Did everybody have a wonderful Thanksgiving?
A very good Thanksgiving.
Good job. Hold on a sec. Okay, give us some wins really quick. I wonder if, oh, here's Valencia. Hello, darling. How are you?
Hi. Sorry, I hit the wrong link. How's
That's
everybody?
okay.
Are we ready to get started or do we get
Yeah,
wins yet?
I'm going to leave let's see, we are on Facebook. Am I on Facebook? Let's see.
Okay.
One thing that I am going to announce tomorrow, he's doing an hour and a half because it is the last day. And so what should we do? Should we make it at 1:30? It'll be in the middle of,
After new releases?
yeah. Let's see, if it starts at 12 to 12, I start at 12:30. But if he goes from 12 to 1:30, yeah, let's start tomorrow at 1:30. And then we can get all of his final goodbyes, all of his final everything tomorrow. Okay? Because tomorrow's the last day.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Okay.
It was really short today. Valencia, you are on, my darling.
Sure. So again, hi everyone. I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Anybody have any wins they want to share before we dive into today's lesson? Any wins? Anybody have a good win over Thanksgiving? Go ahead, Susie.
I got a business partner.
Awesome. Congrats, Susie. Is this your first one?
Second one, I've had some, but they kind of went off. But the
Got it.
one
Okay.
I had a couple months ago, she don't want to work the business. She's too busy doing something else. So,
Okay.
but this
Good.
one's been telling me she's going to join for 5 years now, 5.5
wow.
years. So it took her
Wow.
5.5 years.
That's awesome. So that is just a reminder to not give up on
No.
anyone that says no or not right now. Just continue to work your business, of course, and also, follow up with people that, they may have said no, things change, life shifts, perspectives change, and that is so good for Susie. So congratulations, Susie. Welcome to your new team member. Anybody else have any wins they want to share before we jump right on into today's session? Anything on Facebook, Mama? Good. Okay. All right. So today's session, of course, as Mama Frank mentioned, tomorrow is our last day for this 90-day duplication run. The program is officially over for GoPro Accelerator. He started off the session just kicking off, sharing new initiatives that he will be spearheading, of course, or launching as we get into 24, calendar year 24. So be on the lookout. I'm sure Mama Frank will share all of those programs as they are announced. He's going to be, instead of doing Accelerator, a 21-week boot camp. And basically the premises is to get unstuck. One thing he did acknowledge, the GoPros move really fast. There are a lot of information, a lot of lessons, and not enough time to fully execute. So he wants to kind of change the pace of his program. So he'll be launching a 21-week boot camp where you get a lesson every week. And then he'll come back, answer questions, and then give you a new lesson again. And that's for 21 weeks. It's planned to run between January through May. So he'll likely do one program a year, and then he has another program that he will be launching as well. That's similar to his mastermind, which is called Beyond Leadership. So more to come about those programs as we get more information. So look out for those if you think that is something that you want to do, or maybe you're part of Accelerator and it could be definitely a new program that you could leverage along with the courses that he has launched for level 1, level 2. Those are also great tools that you can leverage as you continue on to grow your business. So for today's lesson, it is really an opportunity. We know a lot of people have been talking about really just reflecting as you wrap up your calendar year of 23, your business year of 23, everything. It's a great time this is the season to kind of reflect. And so today's exercise is really to evaluate everything that, if you look back over the 12 months from social media run to recruiting run to duplication run, and when you look back over the 12 months, where were you a year ago? Where are you now? He also talked about what have you learned over this time? What are you most proud of? What did you accomplish? What skills have you developed? And I'll run through some of these, like just, reflecting questions. Again, where were you a year ago? Number 1. Where are you now? Number 2. Number 3 is what have you learned? Number 4 is what are you most proud of? The other one, what have you accomplished? Also, what skills have you developed? And this is just to help you really see, where you want to be and how far. It really also to acknowledge how far you have come. We've all have grown, whether we feel it's small or big changes, right? We all are in a better position, I can say, from where we were at the beginning or at the end of calendar year 22. And so one of the things he mentioned is that he was having a conversation with a 7-figure earner, and just over an 5-hour conversation. And the conversation was really, they kind of pretty much had like some ups and downs in their business, some big wins. And then it's like, you expect, for instance, our situation would be, we have some business partners, they drop off, they don't want to work their business, or all of these things come up. And the question that he really wanted to find out is to identify the repeat pattern. So when things happen, whether it's, today I may go live and then I may not go live for 3 months later, look at those repeat patterns. So be honest with yourself as you're doing this reflection. Identify all of the repeat patterns and take a moment to be honest with yourself and really figure out what you have done, what you could have done better in those situations. And so we all know that life gives us, many tests. Every day we have some type of test. And if we don't pass the test, we're kind of pretty much repeat the same thing again. It may come in a different form. It may not be the same thing, but it's definitely testing you to either make you stronger, to make you wiser, to make you more confident, to make you more fearless, to just make you a better person. And sometimes we have to own our actions. And so what this kind of reflecting exercise is to really identify the repeat patterns of how we respond. We can only take responsibility for what we do. So how we respond and what can we do to pass the test. So if you continuously to have team members that are not, producing or are falling off, as a leader, what could we do differently? Maybe it's we're not asking enough qualifying questions, or maybe we're not really giving the tools that they need. What could we do better as a leader? And this is not to, of course, blame anyone, but we have to be honest in order for us to pass the test. we really have to look at ourselves and how we respond to situations, where we are now from where we were, and figure out what we can do to what we can do to move forward and pass the test of those repeat patterns. So the questions for the repeat patterns, or what to do after: first, become aware of your repeated patterns. The next thing is to map out, no, sorry, I'm looking at like all of these questions because he was just rambling off a lot of questions. So one is to identify all of the repeated patterns that exist in your business and your life. And then the next thing is to, what is the test that you were meant to pass? So identify what was it that you were meant to pass, and then map out a plan of how you can pass it in the future. So when you ideally identify those repeated patterns, and you really take a hard look at what could you have done, or what I could have done differently, you want to go and identify or map out a plan so that you can pass it in the future, so that you don't have to keep repeating it. And once you identify and are able to do that, that will definitely move you along in your business and help you to be unstuck in your business and in your life. He mentioned 20 questions. He didn't ramble off 20 questions, but there are, I have a couple jotted down. And it is those questions that I mentioned before, that are to look back: where are you now? What have you learned? What are you proud of? He also talked about taking, again, responsibility in those answers, taking responsibility. If you felt like I probably shouldn't have, for instance, this is to the extreme, cuss somebody out, I should not have said what I said. Take responsibility for that. And what should I say next time in the future? So it was really not a long exercise, but a moment to really reflect on everything that you've learned, but also to look at those things where you fell short, and find those things, those repeated patterns of maybe you stop and you start, you stop and you start, you stop and you start. What is the cause and what is the reason why you stop and you start? And identify and be honest with yourself, and then find a plan so that you can no longer stop and start. You can stop and run and go and run and go and go and go. And so that is the lesson for today. Does anybody have any questions? Anyone needs the questions that he wrote down? I don't know, Mama Frank, if you had some other ones, but I think I captured him. He was going pretty fast. Of the questions that will help you reflect. Of course, there is no right or wrong answer in the questions that you ask. You may have your own answers. It's just really to evaluate how you performed in your business over this last year, and where you fell short, well, where you were successful, and compare those. What did I do to make me successful in this area versus not this area? And really, those things that you feel like you fell short, write out a plan so that when we start and move into December, you don't have to wait till 24. When you move into December, that you have great momentum ending out this year and going into 24 calendar year.
Good job, Valencia. Thank you very much. On Facebook, I saw Charmaine, she asked, is it 1:30 Mountain Time? And that is correct. So 1:30 Mountain Time tomorrow. That'll be just a little bit like a half hour after new releases. So that'll
3:30 Eastern time.
3:30 Eastern time, correct.
Is that Tanya teaching tomorrow, or is that Sedaria?
I'm
Tanya,
sorry, I don't know. I think
Tanya, are you on tomorrow? I know she's online. I just, because I don't know if Tanya heard it earlier that we said that we were going to push it back. So are you on tomorrow, Tanya, since he's going longer? Sedaria,
Sedaria's on tomorrow. Good. Okay, so I'll make sure she knows. We'll reach out to her.
Okay.
One thing before we go, and I've got to run because I'm on another Zoom call right here. But let me tell you, if you don't have your ticket to GoPro, get it. Eric has connected with, I gotta take this out of my ear because I can't hear. Eric has connected with this guy in England. His name's Justin. I don't know, I can't remember what his company is, but it's an AI company that is like a couple $100 a year. And you get access to AI. He said there's 7 questions or 10 questions that he asks you, like, what are your interests and what's this and what's that about you? So the AI learns about you. It learns how you talk, and it will answer messages. It will write your posts. It will write your emails. It will write your ads. It writes. It is phenomenal. I work with Chat GPT. This is like Chat GPT on steroids. And it's like $20 a month, not even that, like $18 a month. And it's going to be fabulous. It's just being kicked out at GoPro, but he's let us know because we're in Mastermind that that's going to happen. And we're going to have a link so that paparazzi can be together. They're going to make it so that if those people sign up under this link that he's going to give each one of us that are in Mastermind, then we can get together and we can talk about our paparazzi things together. And it's going to be, I don't know, the things that he's talked about. But anyway, he has an hour Zoom right now that he's talking about that and telling us the details of it and what's going to happen. So I will give you more details about that tomorrow, but they're going to present that at GoPro. So make sure you've got your ticket to GoPro. I'm so excited. I love you guys. I'm going to jump off. Valencia, excellent job. Thank you very much. I appreciate you doing that. And go make your list. What are your ups and downs? And let's change us next year. Let's be better. Love you all. See you.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for joining us on Facebook. Bye-bye.
Bye.